Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Working Man Ron Doyle. Glad to see you back to the channel. Today we're emphasizing the installation of a 4-pin range receptacle. This is 50 amp, 240 volt, and we're going to be doing a 4-screw stainless steel cover plate. I prefer these because they make the installation fairly rigid. When somebody's pushing the plug in, the cover plate holds you from pushing the box through the wall. So I prefer this style. I've been using these for a number of years and haven't had any real significant issues other than getting to a job and come to find out the range is already installed from the appliance company. The microwave's already installed, and I've looked down on the floor and there's scratches down on the floor. I'll show you all a little cheat trick to prevent damage to the customer's new home. So you can see, I don't know if you can see this. This is plank flooring, vinyl plank flooring, and we've already got some scratches that are going across here and across here, and same on this side. You can see scratches going right through here, and this one's actually the seam of the floor. But what's happening is the sand, dirt sediment that comes in off people's feet is being trapped in, and these homes that we're doing, they're spec homes, and we get a lot of foot traffic with sand, drywall accumulation, dust, and the floor guys that install the VCT or the vinyl composite flooring actually push the stuff in piles. They don't bother sweeping the house out or vacuuming it out, and it's creating issue with these scratches down in the composite flooring. What I like to do is get a piece of scrap piece of carpet, cut 3x3 or 4x4 squares, and what you do is you pull your range out and set you up on the stand, and we'll get this started. But I've got 4 of these squares cut out, and this is just scrap carpeting. They usually leave a piece at the front door entrance on the outside so we can wipe our feet as we come in. But what I like to do is use heavy duty snips. Different companies make this. This one's a Gold Blast, but they're good for, they're heavy shears. They're really good for cutting carpet padding, thin plastics and stuff like that. But let me get you up on the stand and show you how I prevent scratches installing these flush mount outlets. Take the carpet pad that you got, turn it upside down, so this is underneath the plastic adjustable foot on the range. The fiber is going to allow you to slide this range out. Now on the back, on the right side, they put a foot hold down device, and that's actually a code requirement now, to where if this oven door is down, someone has a baster pan on this with a large turkey, or if they sit something down on the door, the back of the range won't flip up, causing you to spill boiling water and other things that you're cooking on top onto you, which could cause burning and scalding issues. So they mandated that they had to put in that hold down foot in the back. So before you install this back to the wall, you're going to have to remove that one on the back right side. So now that we've got those installed, this should be a little easier to slide around without causing damage. So we'll get you set up over here and we'll install this outlet. Now as you can see, the drywallers and painters left the nuts back here for me, so I'm going to go ahead and vacuum this up. Now that we got that mess cleaned up, let's get you in a better position so you can watch me do this. Now this range receptacle, like I said, it's 4-prong, and this is the ground, this is the neutral, this is a hot, and this is a hot. The long slotted blade is always the neutral. The round pin or the round with a flat door, it looks like a mouse door, that's always your ground. Looking on the back here, very small writing. They've actually got the writing listed right there on each one of them, and you can see that the front plate is actually grounded through with a rivet, and the model of this Eaton receptacle is a 1258 flush receptacle, 50 amp, 125-250 volt, 3-pole, 4-wire ground. It is AL and CU rated, which is aluminum, or copper wire rated up to 75 degrees Celsius. NEMA EEMAC 14-50R. We're going to be installing this into an Allied Signals fiber box. I love using these boxes because they're rigid. They hold their shape. Now, I've already got this wire to where it's pre-twisted and stripped. So what we're going to do is get our strippers out, and we're going to strip this wire and install this outlet. We're going to be using our Ideal Real Flex strippers with the soft grip. It does 14 all the way down to 6 gauge, and we're going to get about 5/8 of an inch, and we're going to strip it out on each one of these. Pretty stiff wire. You notice I'm putting my thumb against the side of the plier, and I'm prying out because that jacket is very hard to get off. Now, this particular brand, they give you straight slots, so you need a straight slot screwdriver, 1/4 inch wide. I'm using the Ideal flip bit. Look down the clamping area and loosen your screws up until the screws clear the hole on each one of these. Like I said, this one's your ground. Okay, now I'll get a pair of linemen's, and I'll take this, grab about 1/2 inch, fold it over, and then I'll crimp that. So I've got a more even surface for the screw to bite down on. And you want to put this in so clockwise it won't force its way out. And this is our ground. Looking at this one on this side, I place it down on the floor, put the screwdriver on top of it, snug it down. And you gotta be careful because you can break these things. They do break. Get a little too crazy with it. I'll do the ground first, then I'll do the neutral. Now, if you've stripped too much, you want to make sure you cut off some of your wire so you don't have any protruding past the plastic insulator on the back. So I'm going to trim off about 1/8 of an inch, place that back there. I'm going to hold that down on the floor and put my screwdriver in it, tighten that one up, make sure that it stays bottomed out. I'm going to trim off 1/8 of an inch on that one, 1/8 of an inch on that one. And this orientation, it doesn't matter which side you put these in, as long as you're installing them for the hot blades on the facing of the outlet. Most of the instructions that come with these will also tell you which way to orient the wire. Alright, got that done. Now you want to spiral this in a fashion to where you're looking at this space from right side to center, right side to center. We're pretty much equal center of this particular cavity, so it really doesn't matter which side you put your ground pin on. But if you're doing an installation where this receptacle is over here, you want your cord set to run this direction so that it doesn't jam the drawer up on the bottom of the range and causing you not to be able to push the drawer in all the way back in. So this, like I said, this scenario, it doesn't really matter which way you send the pin. But if your receptacle lands over here on this particular side, what you would want to do is your cord set to run out this way. You want to make sure your ground pin is on this left side, so your cord set could run this direction and then spiral to go into the back of the range. If this box was over here, you would want just the opposite. You would want it situated like that so that your ground pin is always on top and that it would travel this way. So I'm going to get you situated back down here. We're going to get this installed. And make sure that your ground that you're pushing in does not come in contact with any of your hot wires. A little bit of a struggle because that wire is pretty stiff. Now, you tear the package open. I usually put it on put it down on the floor like so. Pull up. Now this particular bit, you need your small flat trim out screwdriver. Get this started. These wires are stubborn today. Alright, get that lined up. Get one of your screws started on the side. Now this box is they're pre-tapped holes, so you want to make sure you don't get these cross-threaded because you'll either crack the box or strip these holes out. This might take a little time for you all to get this together, and it's a struggle for me too, so I don't want to edit this out in the video. I want you all to see this. Make sure it can go all the way back without getting pinched or bound. And I really wish they would stop using these flathead screws and just go all out Phillips. These are old school. The disadvantage of the flathead screw versus the Phillips is the Phillips is self-centering, and the flathead screwdriver is not. You can slip off of it and score your finish, whatever your finish might be. And if you're left-handed, that's a good thing. And if not, you might skid off what you left and scar your finish. You notice my my box is within the allowable setback. You're allowed up to 1/4 inch setback. I'm about 1/16. When we put that cover plate on, she's going to be about flush. Don't over tighten these screws, you will crack that fiber box. Now the cover plate I prefer is the one with 4 screws, stainless steel or stainless steel finish, and it is, let's see, let me look at the package. Alright, I don't see any model number, but I got a SKU. It's 32664204990 small 6, last number. The way that this goes on, the longer distance goes between here. We'll sit that on there like that. Get our trim screws out, and we'll get one started. Now these are straight slot also. Now don't tighten them up just yet until you get all 4 screws in, so your plate don't get out of center. Get a little warm in this house right now. I don't have any of the breakers in. The AC unit's not running, so I apologize if you see my sweaty hands. We'll get this snugged up and get this range installed, and show you a cheat trick to installing the range cord so that the receptacle will fit flush to the wall, and you can get the range all the way back. Here's something else I wanted to show you all. We're getting these appliances, and the appliance guys are actually installing these cords. You can see that they've got it propped in here in this slotted hole. Cord comes down, goes up. Looking at this cord set, there is no SJO cord retention here. There's supposed to be a clamp in here that holds this cord in this sheet metal. As you can see, it is not there. So I'm gonna look in my truck, see if I've got one, and we're gonna install this prior to pushing this range back in its spot. So stay tuned. Just so happens I have one in my truck. They actually supply one of these with every cord set that comes with the ranges. The appliance guys choose not to install them, and they're throwing them away. My electrical inspector on numerous occasions has caught this where it didn't have a wire holding clamp onto it, and he has actually made contact with them a couple times and they're still neglecting to install this simple device. Whether it be a waste of time or they just plain laziness, they don't want to do it. You should install this and never go without this wire holding device. So let's get back to it and we'll install this. So most of these are 1/4 inch nut driver. Usually this one has 3 screws, one on this side, one on this side, one down here. Release these screws. Make sure you don't drop the shield on the floor, this will scratch the floor up. Lift out, pull down. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not wired. I'm going to show you how it's not supposed to be wired. On a new construction home, you have the neutral and the ground are separated, and apparently they are bonded in neutral and the ground together. You're supposed to release this screw, pull that strap out that you see right there, and separate the neutral and the ground at this connection point. So let me show you how to wire this the right way. Looks like I'm going to have to call the appliance company and tell them they're not doing their business right. So obviously the guys that are installing these appliances aren't electricians. Alright, let's go ahead and install this holding device. Basically it consists of 2 plates and 2 screws. You need a Phillips head screwdriver to install this. And let's see if I can get you a better angle on this here. Alright, so we've got 2 different pieces. They look fairly similar. One's going to have bigger holes, one's going to have smaller holes, as you can see. Take the one with the smaller holes, insert it into the back first, insert the one with the bigger holes into the front. This is a little bit of a struggle because it's tight, and we've got to break the knockout out for this to be able to install this properly. So let's go ahead and just take this cord assembly. Let's take this cord assembly totally out and do this upright. Pull that out. We're going to break our knockout out. So if I give you the top of this. Alright, let's get this done. Let's get this done here. I'm going to break this knockout out. Alright, first thing, take your cord set. Run your cord set through. Alright, small holes go in the back. You're going to insert it in like this from the bottom, like that. Take the one with bigger holes. You're going to insert it like this. This is probably why they're not installing these, because this is a little bit of a struggle. Looks like I'm going to be turning this sideways to get these screws in. Get your Phillips, and we're going to go on the bottom. We'll get these screws in. This part's a little tricky, and it's kind of hard to show you anything with my big hands in the way. So I'll show you the aftermath of what we're doing here as soon as I get these things lined up. And be careful not to slice and dice your hand putting this mess on, because all this stuff under this appliance is super sharp and will give you a heck of a paper cut. The only difference is it's sharp steel. I'll probably speed this footage up just a little bit so you don't see this taking me over 30 minutes to do, which definitely shouldn't take that long. Alright, now that we got the screws started, I'm not going to snug it up just yet. I'm going to pull this down just a little bit by rocking the cord. You want to make sure you got about 3/4 of an inch of insulation inside the back of the range. This strap that you see, this strap that you see right here, this part needs to be removed. So we're going to take our 1/4 inch nut driver. You're going to release that, let that fall out, tighten that back up, take your neutral wire, snug that up. Now we're going to get our ground. We've removed the strap. You can see the slotted hole, that's where it actually fell out. We're going to take our ground plate, put our screw in it, go to the bottom of the range, the back of the range right here. We're going to use that hole, and we're going to get that screw installed and snugged up. I'm going to spin this plate around to make sure we got maximum grab. Snug her up, but don't strip the hole out. Alright. She got a little bit of a rock to her, so I'm going to flip that plate around until she grabs good. Definitely want to make sure she's grounded nice and solid. My big hands. Alright, got that snugged up. I'm going to match the black up to the black. I'm going to snug that one up. I'm going to make sure the top one's tight. We're going to install our last screw through the red wire. Make sure you don't cross thread it. Snug that one up. Alright, now we're going to go underneath, give you a little shot of what that plate looks like. Go underneath, and we're going to snug up this wire holding device. Make sure you don't over tighten it. Just snug it up. And we're going to take our shield. We're going to install our shield same way we took it off. Slide the 2 tabs in at the top. Push this in at the bottom. Now I'm going to get these screws started before I snug them up. Alright, snug them up. Make sure you don't strip the holes out. You're no longer going to need this, but I will keep this for a 3-wire installation for a future application. So now that we've got this range wired the correct way, we're going to get this thing installed. Now, like I said, on this back corner, we're going to remove that carpet pad so that our foot will go down in that holding device. We've got our cord laid out on the floor. Take your drawer at the bottom, pull that out, set it to the side. Don't slide it on the floor because it will scar it. We're going to get our pad for the efforts of my comfort. I'm going to lay this out, and I'm going to get you down. Alright, we got you down on the floor. We've got our range wire And we want to make sure that our foot's going to line up. We're going to slide it back so it locks in. The foot's going to lock in. Alright. So we're centered and we're all the way back. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to spiral this range wire up on itself so that we can get this drawer. So I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to plug our receptacle in. Big arms and big hands don't help things like this. Oh my goodness. Alright. We got our breakers off. Push this in the wall. Take the cord. We can still spin this clamp because the way the clamp is designed. And I'm situating the cord so that the drawer will go all the way back. Now, it's up to you if you want to take these sliders out that we made, but what you could do if you want to leave them in place is raise the front and slide this as far back as possible to keep people from seeing it on the facing of the range. And a little bit of a struggle. Alright. Get you set up, see if we can get this drawer installed. Put your drawer on your tabs that are underneath. Right in there. Lift up until it goes over that hump, like so. And your drawer will slide all the way back. This is flush. I see a lot of people, they'll take this range and they'll plug it in, and they'll either climb over the countertops, go behind the range to get that cord situated so it pushes straight back. And the overall outcome is not very good because after they get done, the drawer doesn't go all the way back because the cord is pushing the drawer outward. And this seems to be an easier way of removing the drawer, situating the cord, and then putting the drawer back in to give you a better effort and better result. And the other thing, climbing over this counter, to crawl in the back to plug that cord in, you risk cracking this very expensive countertop. So, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our efforts of getting a flush-mounted range receptacle in the wall, correcting the wire on this electric range, and hopefully this video is of help to you and your install time, and making you more productive on the job site with less problems and less damage to the vinyl floor that's under this range. We definitely don't want the contractors or the homeowners calling us back because we slid out and damaged the floor. So if you all thought this video was helpful, greatly appreciate if you all would hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel for future things on things electricians do. Until the next time, y'all stay safe and God bless.